All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to overcome every single life insurance objection. I'm also going to be showing you guys what I believe is the best way to overcome objections, and we're going to be breaking that all down in this video. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, when I say the best way to overcome objections, what I have personally found is that a lot of times when people are on the phone, they get too caught up in what to say, but a lot of the communication that you have is in how you say it, right? I'll give you an example. If I say, hey, is blank there? Like I'll give you guys that phrase in a couple different tonalities. Hey, is blank there? Hey, is blank there? Hey, is blank there? Right? And I'm saying the exact same thing, but each of those three ways of me saying it has a different communication, right? It communicates an entirely different thing. And so a lot of times what I found that when people are overcoming objections, they're trying to think of the words of what to say instead of just saying the objection, right? And then focusing on the tonality, right? So if you want to get better at overcoming objections, I truly believe that you should actually script them out and read them from a script, right? Whoa, you should script out objections. Literally, script out what you would say, and then based off of what the client replies to that, what you would say, right? And you guys will see what I mean by that in just a second. So this is the way that we've structured it ourselves, is inside of our script, we actually have the objections linked inside of the script where we're most likely to get them, right? So I'll go through call intro, go through there, and then basically one of the hotspots for getting objections is first 30 seconds of the call. So we've actually hyperlinked it in our script so that if you get an objection in the first 30 seconds, you can open it up, right? And now this is where the magic happens, and this is the best way that I've found to overcome objections, is you have all of these listed out, and based off of what the person says, you can click on it and find what you need to say, right? So for example, a super common objection that you get in the first 30 seconds would be, oh, I'm not interested, right? So if I'm on the phone, this is kind of what the workflow looks like. So I'm going through the script, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I got the objections, click here. Oh, I got an objection. They said, I'm not interested. Yeah, no worries. And Jim, when you say you aren't interested, is it because you think it might be unaffordable or because you just don't think you can get approved, right? Now you see how I'm reading that so I can focus on how I'm saying it, right? I can really dial in my tonality, and what I can also do is I can listen to what Jim replies and what he says so that I can craft my reply based off of that, right? Because most people, they're thinking so much about what they're going to say that they don't even hear what their client says, right? So I'll give you guys that again. Yeah, no worries. And when you say you aren't interested, is it because you think it might be unaffordable or because you just don't think you can get approved? Right? And then based off of what he says, I now have my reply scripted out, right? So for example, if he says, well, I just don't think I can afford it. Oh yeah, no worries. Most of the people that we work with are on a fixed income. Are you on a fixed income too? Yeah, I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, perfect. Well, the plans that you requested information on, those are actually designed for people on a fixed income. I would just have to ask you a couple questions to see if you'd even qualify. Would that be helpful? Right? And now I just literally return right back to the script. And if he would have said, well, I'm just not interested. Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Well, I guess whenever you filled this out, what were you concerned about? Right? And then whatever he says, I just return right back to the script. Right? So you guys see how simple that workflow is, where it's just whatever they say, I click on that, and then whatever they reply to that, I click on that, and it's all scripted out. I'll give you guys another one. So let's say somebody says, oh, well, I already have insurance. Oh, yeah, no problem. So whenever you fill this out, were you looking to add on coverage or just see if you qualified for a rate reduction? Oh, well, I was just looking to see if I qualified for a rate reduction. Yeah, I'd love to check on that for you. I just have to ask you a couple questions first to see what you'd qualify for and how much I might be able to save for you. Is that okay for me to do? Yeah, that's fine. Run through the health questions, and then it'll take you right back where you need to be in the script, right? Or if they're like, oh, well, I just got it. I already have insurance, and I literally just got it. Oh, yeah, perfect. So if you just recently got insurance, I can probably find you a lower rate or even more coverage for the same price. Would that be helpful? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to check on that for you. I just have to ask you a couple questions, right? And as you guys see, it's all listed out. So another one that you get in the first 30 seconds, oh, I never filled anything out. Yeah, no worries. It would have been a form on Facebook you filled out about getting approved for life insurance programs without a 2-year wait. And then you could just delete Zoosurance, just say whatever your company name is. It was for a company called Zoosurance, and it looks like you listed your beneficiary as, and then you literally read out their beneficiary name because they manually type in the name of the person. So it's going to be like their wife's name or their kid's name or whatever. Looks like you had listed your beneficiary out as Darlene Smithers. Does that ring a bell? Right? And you literally just said the name of their family member. Of course it rings a bell. And then if yes, that rings a bell. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, I just have to ask you a couple questions to see what you'd qualify for. I guess, what were you more concerned about? Was it leaving money behind for family or just covering funeral expenses? And then if they're like, no, I still didn't fill anything out. Yeah, no worries. I don't usually sit around thinking about this kind of thing either. But it says here you listed your email as, and then you read their email. And a lot of people have very weird, unique emails. So it's definitely going to catch their attention then and kind of like bring them back. Right? So you read their email, they're like, yeah, that's my email. Oh yeah, I mean, perfect. Well, I basically just have to ask you a couple questions to see what you'd even qualify for. What were you more concerned about? Right? And then you go right back, return to the script. So these are the primary first 30-second objections. And then we also have like our post-close objections, right? So post-close objections, this is in the script. After you've asked for the order, they give you an objection, right? Oh, well, I need to think about it. Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. I guess, what's kind of your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two, just to see if I'd even be available for you, right? And then we wait for their reply. They reply back. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not sure if I'd just be randomly available like that with, you know, my schedule and everything. What I can do is pull up my calendar so that we can book in a specific time with me. That way you don't have to chase me down or, you know, vice versa. Are you more of like an evening or a morning person? And so what I'm basically doing here with the I need to think about it, I'll walk you guys through this tactically, is I'm setting an appointment so that they think that they're off the hook. So you set the appointment, they think they're off the hook, all the sales pressure is off. And then after you set the appointment, you say, okay, yeah, and before I jump off here, just so I know what to go over with you on our call together, you know, on Wednesday, what was it that you were more curious about? Was it like the price of the program or more so how the program worked? And then they're going to tell you what they have questions about as far as what they need to think about. So when they say they need to think about it, I need to think about it is always a smokescreen for uncertainty. So we have to figure out what they're actually uncertain about so that we can then tackle that root objection, right? So is it the price or how the program works? So if it's the price, you do this, right? I totally understand. My goal is to find something that's going to be affordable for you in the long term. You think it would maybe be more helpful if we look at some options, you know, I don't know, like $20 or $30 less a month, and then we just drop the price, find something that's affordable for them. If they have questions about how the program works, we just re-explain. Yeah, I mean, Jim, I want to make sure that everything is 100% clear here to you. What specifically about the program were you maybe unclear on? And then you just answer any questions, clear anything up. And then after that, once you've answered all their questions, you've cleared everything up. Okay, well, perfect. I mean, if you don't have any other questions about how the program works, you see any reason we wouldn't go ahead and just, you know, knock out an application real quick? And that's your re-loop to ask for the order there. They are like, oh, well, it's not enough coverage. We go here. Can always show you a, you know, higher coverage amount. What makes you feel like this wouldn't be enough? Because if they say it's not enough coverage, a lot of times that's like a smoke screen for, or not necessarily a smoke screen. It's just that they have this idea that they need more coverage than they actually do. And so then we kind of dive deeper into that and break it down. So if they think that they need more coverage than they do, then we just need to realign and reset their expectations with what their goals actually are. Like a lot of times people think they're going to leave $100,000 of insurance behind when they have like COPD and, you know, congestive heart failure, and it's just not going to happen. So we just have to reset those expectations. And then if they're unsure about a 2-year wait, we have this whole thing scripted out. Yeah, I totally understand. My job as a broker is not only shop the market for you, but actually to find you the program that's not only going to offer you the best rate, but also the best plan. And, you know, to be honest with you, I checked with all of the companies in your area, and because of the, you know, HIV, AIG is going to give you the best offer on the market, right? None of the day one plans are going to accept you because of the HIV, unfortunately. And, you know, the reason that I recommend this plan is because if you pass away from an accident, right, you guys get the point. So we're basically like resetting the expectation. We're just being very genuine and clear, right? And we're just like, look, I promise you with 100% certainty, I looked at all the other options. If there was a better option, I would be the first to tell you because I want you to get day one, but there's not that option, right? That's essentially what we're saying in a few words. And yeah, we have if they reply to I need to think about it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places that they can go, right? If they say they just need to think about it, if they're unsure about the 2-year wait, if they're not sure if they have enough coverage, if they're unsure about how the program works, and if it's the price, we have all of that, you know, scripted out, right? Another objection that's super common is the spouse objection, right? So let's say I'm going through this. They say, oh, I need to talk to my wife. Yeah, no, I totally understand. I guess what specifically do you think they might not like about the program, right? And then the wife objection or the spouse objection, this is sometimes a smokescreen and sometimes it's a real objection. So we need to ask this question in a way that kind of like opens it up where we can find out, is it actually the spouse or is there something else, right? And so that's what this allows us to do, is we're asking what they think their spouse wouldn't like. And then they're either going to say, well, you know, I think they might think it's too expensive, right? The price, if they're unsure about the 2-year wait, if it's not enough coverage, if they're not sure and they just want to talk it over, which a lot of times you'll get. Okay, yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I'm guessing, you know, Jim, your wife would be the person responsible for the funeral bill in this situation. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, and does she approve of the fact that you don't have any coverage currently? No, well, she's been pushing me to get some. Okay. So, Jim, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, do you really think that your wife would be against you getting coverage? Well, you know, maybe they wouldn't, right? Okay, well, do you mind if I make a suggestion? It seems to me like your wife would probably be in support of you getting coverage. I mean, in that case, maybe we should just start the process now. Let's make sure that you're approved. And then we can move the start date out to give you enough time to, you know, talk things over before anything goes into effect. Would you be totally opposed to like at least seeing if we can get you approved with this company? Right? You see how like soft and finesse that closes? It just sounds very like low pressure. Yeah, I mean, it seems like your wife would probably not be against you getting coverage. So, I mean, like in that case, maybe we should just start the process now, make sure you're approved. And then we can move the start date out to give you enough time to, you know, talk things over before anything goes into effect. Would you be totally opposed to, you know, at least seeing if we can get you approved here? Right? And then if they continue objecting, yeah, no worries. How long do you guys need to talk it over? I want to make sure you guys aren't having to chase me down. Right? Boom, 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 boom. And then like all of this is all scripted out. Right? So I could go through each and every single one of these objections. But what I think would be more valuable, and I think like the main point of this video is just like the way that we're structuring this, right? So what I recommend doing, and if you guys want this sheet, I'll show you how to get it in just a second, but what I recommend doing is going and figuring out what overcomes work the best for you, right? If you're going to do this on your own, and basically like write them out, kind of like how we should have this sheet structured. Because the biggest thing is you don't want to be focusing on what to say, you want to be focusing on how you say it. That is the key to overcoming objections. You can either memorize every single word track, right? Every single word track possible, or you can script it out for yourself and link it in your script, okay? So that is how to overcome every single life insurance objection. If you guys want access to this script, this is something that we have for our internal clients. So if you guys want to learn more about our coaching program, where we set up Facebook ads for people so that they can start getting their own high intent leads and pre-booked appointments. And then we also provide them with coaching on all of these things. We give them assets so that they can systemize out their sales process and have all of these objections scripted. We also give them our exact script that has everything linked throughout and has different, decision trees based off of what people say. If you guys want to learn more about that, there's going to be a link down below in the description. Or I'll just scroll through this really quick so you guys could copy it if you wanted to. so you guys can make your own version, or if you just want me to just give you the sheet, we have it available for all of our clients. So I'll just scroll through this real quick. Awesome. So there's like 40 pages of this. If you make your own and you decide you don't want to join our program, like you don't have to make 40 pages. You can kind of just build on it as it goes. But the biggest tip I can give you with objections is having it scripted out, because the more you're thinking about what to say, the less you can focus on how to say it, and the less you can focus on actually overcoming the objection. So hopefully this video was valuable for you guys. And if it was, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.